boys to hold the line. We gon' shoot it out in seconds, leave you posted like a vine. Bow your head down to the king, leave your roses at the shrine. We stay ready for the war, just need the king to drop the sign. Say what you running from, what you running from? I'm with my team, we bleed green, that's what you wanted, huh? Say what you running from, what you running from? I'm with my team, we bleed green, that's what you wanted, huh? This what you wanted. This what you wanted, huh?
What's a man or a king? What's it a saying? Advancing the line, advancing the payment. You front the game and shoot what said as you claim it. It's that Xbox, spin the block, his legs slide. Fast talker, no riddling, moonwalking, selling moon rock just to make dividends. You in traffic with family? Devil's making a portrait. Gun kick back, now granny's from porches. David on the sea, you know that it's scorching. What's a man or a king? What's it a saying? Advancing the line, advancing the payment. You front the game and shoot what said as you claim it.
You already know the time, told my boys to hold the line. We gon' shoot it out in seconds, leave you posted like a vine. Bow your head down to the king, leave your roses at the shrine. We stay ready for the war, just need the king to drop the sign. Say what you running from, what you running from? I'm with my team, we bleed green, that's what you wanted, huh? Say what you running from, what you running from? I'm with my team, we bleed green, that's what you wanted, huh? This what you wanted. This what you wanted, huh?
What's a man or a king? What's it a saying? Advancing the line, advancing the payment. You front the game and shoot what said as you claim it. It's that Xbox, spin the block, his legs slide. Fast talker, no riddling, moonwalking, selling moon rock just to make dividends. You in traffic with family? Devil's making a portrait. Gun kick back, now granny's from porches. David on the sea, you know that it's scorching. What's a man or a king? What's it a saying? Advancing the line, advancing the payment. You front the game and shoot what said as you claim it.
You already know the time, told my boys to hold the line. We gon' shoot it out in seconds, leave you posted like a vine. Bow your head down to the king, leave your roses at the shrine. We stay ready for the war, just need the king to drop the sign. Say what you running from, what you running from? I'm with my team, we bleed green, that's what you wanted, huh? Say what you running from, what you running from? I'm with my team, we bleed green, that's what you wanted, huh? This what you wanted. This what you wanted, huh?
Peace and blessings, and welcome back to Xbox Frontline News with your boy, the King. And on this crazy President's Day, a day that I got a chance to chill out, relax, and handle some business in the house. Also, if you are on Frontline Gaming streams, you notice that videos are starting to pop up over there. Now, I told you before, what I'm doing is I'm doing something a little bit different. Because if you don't change, you stay stagnant and there is no growth. As we're creeping in to 10,000 subs, we're like, 4 subs away? We're inching ever closer to that milestone, and we did this together. Now, I want to say thank you for Be Nice, Live Supremacy. Who's that? Who else is in there? Mega Lacey, Jones. Sorry if I butchered your name. For showing up. I want to appreciate you guys for showing up. Now, I do have some actual confirmation, and shout out to my man Moore's Law is Dead for getting that information over to me. I've told you before that Xbox is here to stay. Anybody telling you that Xbox is dead has brain rot. Now, I see a lot of people upset with me online because they said that I'm console warring. If I ever find a grown man supporting a basketball team, a football team, a hockey team, a soccer team, and you run around wearing their colors and you're actively yelling at people and fighting people over other millionaires playing a sport that you don't actually play, at least with our video games, we support by playing the games. You guys are weird to me. So I'm going to continue the console war because I choose this platform the same way you choose your sports team. There's no difference. The only difference is you're trying to shame me because I love what I do. I can't say the same about you. I see grown men getting tattoos of football teams. Now listen, I'm not going to say I wasn't afflicted with this curse a long time ago. I was. My oldest son name is David Keyshawn Johnson. Why? Because my favorite player on the Jets was Keyshawn Johnson. Is Keyshawn Johnson. I don't think there's another wide receiver that can supplant him in my mind. I have his rookie cards. I supported the Jets. I can't stand Woody Johnson and the Johnson family that runs the Jets. So again, I bow out. That is not my fight. But I'm going to get into what everybody hates that we love. Xbox. If it's your first time finding the channel, you found your new best friend. If you love Xbox, you found me, the king. Hey, do me a favor. Take my invitation, become a sub, and if you so choose, become the few that become members. Members of the lifeblood of the stream. You guys keep things going. I drop videos for you guys daily, but I also do giveaways. Now, a lot of those giveaways should be reaching those members now. We do little lottery fun stuff, and I think it's actually really cool. I happen to love it. We have more stuff coming. I can't show it to you, but I'm going to be giving away those things as well. Shout out to Ben Kenobi, because Ben Kenobi is a shining star in this community. I love all the work that he does. We have new coins coming. We have special ILP merch that is completely unique, will not be found anywhere else. So if you're a fan of ILP, I will be giving that stuff away. You will see that stuff. You would trust me. It is absolutely mind-blowing. But this weekend, let me tell you what I was playing. So I finally got a chance to play Final Fantasy VII Remake. Finally got a chance to sit down with it. Not saying that I didn't play it on my PlayStation Plus subscription. And not saying that I didn't have it readily available to me. I wanted to play it on my Series X. And I got a chance to do so. Now I want to know everybody out there. Shout out to Lycos and everybody else that's here. I want to ask you guys a question. How do you play Final Fantasy VII? Do you play it in graphics mode or do you play it in performance? Because before I give my answer, before you guys shame me, I want to know how you guys play it. Because me personally, I thought I was going to get a bump in resolution, a bump in something if I played it on the Pro. I got absolutely nothing. It wasn't a bump in anything. I heard Rebirth is where you actually get some bells and whistles on that. I'll put those two head to head against each other when it comes out for my series consoles, because right now I'm in the middle of playing it. So I'll, after I finish the remake, then I'll get a chance to get over to Rebirth, and then I can tell y'all the differences that I see there. But right now, for me, the Series X, it's a better performer when it comes to this game. But that could also be it had more time to cook, it had more extra stuff. I'm going to tell you how the PlayStation, and I should send that over to my thing now, because you know what? Let me send that over, because I gotta say, I got a lot of people that send me information, boy, and they can't, either they can't stand PlayStation or they just want me to have a leg up on these dudes. Yeah. All right, so I got all of that. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 topics that we're going to talk about. Let me see. You play it in balance mode. What the hell is balance mode? There's only 2 modes, bro. There's only performance and graphics mode. There's not even a balance mode on the Pro. I don't know what you're talking about, balance mode. It doesn't have a balance mode. Let me see. Hey, yo, has anybody seen Fee Marie? I haven't seen Fee. I mean, hey, listen, reach out to our regulars, man. Shout out to Fee. If anybody get a chance to see, say, your Fee, my lady, I haven't seen you. shout out to the regulars, man. I really, I don't play those games. I really would like to see our regulars, man. Oh, you was asking if it had balance mode. My bad, OG. My bad. I thought you were saying that you play in balance mode. Okay. All right. So, hold on. Why is my audio down on the desktop? It shouldn't be. I have to put that up because I'm going to do something in a second. All right. So, I play in graphics mode. I know that's contrary to what everybody said because they want 60 frames per second. I was doing it in 60 frames per second. I was playing in performance. And then I put it in graphics mode. I said, yo, cloud look crazy different. The textures on this dude, the world, nah, I ain't going back. I'm not going back. I'm not going back. I'm going to stay my ass right over there, and I'm not going back, man. Graphics mode it is for that game. Because you got to think about it. Majority of the time, you're standing there, you're fighting. You move from area to area. I don't think performance really enhances any damn thing for that. I need that graphical fidelity, bro. Like they put in their work in that, and it shows. It looks good. So I'm not gonna do that. I'm going to. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe Rebirth said something different. But this here right here, I was like, yo, his hair is moving. I said, Tifa hair moving, boy. Yo, you know what? So I'm sitting with my son, right? Sitting with my son, and we in the car, right? He went with me to work last night, and I'm like, yo, I don't remember Jesse inside the original Final Fantasy, and because he's playing the original. He's playing it right now. He refuses to play the remake until he finishes the original or whatever. What he's doing is playing all the old games that I played when I was his age. I don't know what the hell is going on with that, but like he'll play Resident Evil 2, the original. Oh, he went in on Resident Evil 3, the original, how the remake doesn't have the clock tower stuff and all that stuff. I said, boy, you need to make your own channel. But I said, yo, I don't even know about Jesse, bro. Like, who the hell is this Jesse? Then I didn't think that was a integral character in the beginning. I was like, I don't remember it. And I was like, it's strange. But apparently, that character wasn't even like all that. And it was a very brief stint, and they just expounded on that character in the remake. Now, I got some issues with the remake right now. I'm gonna save it until after I finish it. Because I find certain things monotonous. But other than that, what was I playing? I started High on Life 2. I played Reanimals with Addict. I definitely want to get back into Reanimals to do some more of that. I think Reanimals is really creepy, really dope. Did y'all get a chance to see us with David Jaffe yesterday on ILP? Cog wasn't there, so I called in the troops, right? Attic was like, yo, see if David Jaffe want to come on, because we're talking about the state of play. I was like, all right, I hit him up. I don't take anything for granted. Like, listen, growing up in the Bronx, playing God of War, playing Twisted Metal, playing all these games that kept my PlayStation alive. I had David Jaffe in such high regard because he was churning out titles that consumed my gaming habits, right? So when I hit him up, he was like, yeah, I'll bop on. But I was going to have him on Lords After Dark, and then I switched it up and was like, yo, just bop on the show now if you got some time. And he was like, yeah, I'll come through. And I can hit up Cliffy B. It's just working as hard in this industry and building these relationships with individuals that you admire their work ethic, you admire their catalog of work. Listen, what I never do is never become a fan of the person. I become a fan of their work. And everybody has their own individual role to walk, but these people have treated me fine and treated me with such respect. And we have common threads that we talk about. So again, I just feel humbled that I'm able to do that, right? When me and Reggie Fils-Aimé get around each other, we chop it up. Another one is Neil Druckmann. I know that y'all got some weird stuff going on with that about his beliefs on certain things, and we never have those conversations, so I would never know. We talk about comic books. We talk about, like, just really wild stuff, like comic books, to have the conversation. See, if y'all saw yesterday how I went down the rabbit hole with Wolverine, how I didn't like them changing his history in the way that they did with Wolverine Origins, and he's a friend of the writer that was with him with some of his stuff that he did, and we started going down the rabbit hole of Wolverine, and we could have did that. We could have did a whole show on that, him and I, a basic on the basis of character building and when a character peaks and stuff like that. To have that level of conversation with someone, understanding the fundamentals that go into characters and don't stray too far away from their North Star. I think that's insane, because I love, if y'all see them in the back, I love these characters. I know exactly what the Ninja Turtles was before they turned into Nickelodeon, Ninja Turtles. So I know that they were all killers. I know Master Splinter made them to kill. I know the foot soldiers weren't robots, they were killers. I know that they made the Mousers because they started running out of soldiers and they had to recruit more. I know that what was that hockey player dude, but he came a little bit later. I forgot his name, but with Casey Jones. I remember when Casey Jones first showed up, and he's just like a psychopathic killer that happens to like the work of the Ninja Turtles, right? So knowing where they are, knowing that how Nickelodeon strayed away from who they truly are, but the comic books kind of went back to who they are in the essence, like with The Last Ronin and stuff like that, man. Those books are real characters, pull at your heartstrings. So I don't know how I got on this tangent, but I was talking about Final Fantasy. But hanging out with David Jaffe yesterday, y'all got a chance to see his take on how he didn't really like the Sons of Sparta, because it in some forms what he felt was, one, they could have did a better job. This is your flagship IP, 2D graphics. I don't care. There's better 2D graphic games out there. You could have did better. I felt the same way, right? I'm not going to lie. I'm talking about from a person on the outside looking in. That's not worth no $30. That's one. Two, I'm playing way better 2D games. You got to step it up, bro. You can't just come out here with this and talk about this is what it is. And then if this is a stealth drop inside your service, man. Start giving value to these PlayStation dudes, because I think they are who they are out of a defense mechanism, knowing that the company that they love can care two shits about them, honestly. And I think that hurts them in a sense that they see, how they see us going to Chuck E. Cheese, they see us going to McDonald's, they see us going to Burger King with Xbox, they see us having a great time, they see Fan Fest, and PlayStation doesn't have anything to equivalent to that. Just the level of disdain and vitriol that they have is based upon being neglected and always expected to do more. But they'll turn around and tell you some stuff like, well, we buy their games and they don't owe us anything. Well, I beg to differ. When you're doing services like you have PlayStation Plus and it's not Game Pass, we can all acknowledge that it's not Game Pass. It's not on its best day. But we can say that it's a service, and they want you to stick around in their service, and they have to give you compelling things to be there. And I don't think they do that. And I can talk from a place of knowing, because I have it, stupid. So don't ever think that I don't. I noticed that a lot of people is weird too. They think that I'm some Xbox zealot that only rocks this way, and I don't go and have everything else. It's just weird. I'm not like that. I won't ever be like that. But what I would do is keep the boot on the Kong's neck this whole generation. Hashtag no PlayStation 6. You know what it is. I'm going to keep the boot on Kong's neck this whole generation. If you didn't know, now you know. You ran up on the right dude at the wrong time. See, what you thought was that I'll turn into like a lot of these other dudes, these mustard-hearted dudes that's weak. You thought I will bend, fold, the break. I don't do that. Treyway, baby. We stay deep. Always. Pause. So, you individuals that think one day you're going to wake up and I'm going to be running around on the blue team, never. I may buy your wares. I may take your girl around the block and spin her out. But I no day am I going to claim her. Now, the reason why I can't claim her, because it's like stuff like this. The PlayStation 6 won't use full RDNA 5 GPU architecture as claimed. New information concerning the internal hardware expectations of the next Sony PlayStation has surfaced. Do not expect the next Sony PlayStation console to use only AMD's upcoming RDNA 5 GPU. During recent discussions at NeoGAF Forum, reliable tech leaker, Kepler L2, y'all know him, noted that the PlayStation 5 Eternals are a hybrid of RDNA and ray tracing, and that is the PlayStation 6 isn't going to be a full RDNA 5 either. Further hardware expectations for the next-gen Sony PlayStation 6. In another recent post, Kepler claimed that the PlayStation 6 could only have up to 30 gigs of GDDR7. I heard that as well. Now, if you think that is what he said, I got other information to back up what Kepler's saying. I got you today. I'm going to put in that work to make your body hurt. Trust me. All right. GDDR7 memory. Often discussed, next generation Sony handheld could also feature up to 24 gigs of LPDDR5X memory. If that's the case, it will be on par with the recent ROG Ally X. Buddy, don't waste your time. Go get an Xbox ROG Ally X. Don't waste your time. Don't waste your time. Go get an X. Go get a Xbox ROG Ally X. The rumored handheld is expected to be dockable. I want y'all to give me my props. I'm 98% right all the time. I want you to give me my props. I tell you, hashtag no PlayStation 6. You know what it is. We're going to run it up on these bumps. I told you why I told you that. Because I told you it's going to cost too much. Don't worry. I got more stuff to back my stuff up. I got more stuff that backs me up. But this is Kepler here talking to you. Let Kepler talk to you. Because y'all love Kepler L2. Right? Y'all make all these videos about Kepler. Well, keep on, man. Why the hell would you need a PlayStation 6 if the handheld is dockable? First of all, make it make sense. Okay. This thing is dockable, right? This is a Switch 2. This thing is dockable, right? Now, I want to ask you a question. Do they got an undockable console? No, that's redundancy, right? Are these billion-dollar companies in the habit of making redundancies? No. Actually, they're in the habit of eliminating redundancies. What they do is, if they see a redundancy in staffing, they fire you. That's why they have a lot of firings, right? If they see a redundancy in studios, they close them down. That's what they do. If they see a redundancy in games, they cancel games. What do you think they're going to do when they see a redundancy in hardware? But that's just me talking to you. That's just me giving you facts. That's just me letting you know the king is 98% right all the time. If you don't respect it, life is going to teach you to respect it. It also is expected to run PlayStation 5 games. Still, it's not expected to be as powerful as the current PlayStation 5 console. This is where I differ. I believe that handheld would be under the Pro more than the base. I think the Pro is the last console traditionally. I think the handheld is the next iteration of what they want to do because they want you mobile, they want you versatile. However, don't expect to see the next set of PlayStation consoles in the market until at least 2027. And this is where I give you the spiel. Now, let me bump that real quick. Hold on. Okay, that was that. Let me get that out of there, right? Here we go. Now, are you ready? Are you ready? The PlayStation dudes that's here, that's tuning in for the Kings thing. Pause. For me to put that work in to make that body hurt. You ready? What up? What up? Oh, I didn't even put on text to speech. Oh, man. Hold on. Let me put on text to speech. Hold on. Because if y'all super chat, I want that to be. Hold on. Hold on. I got to make sure that that thing is there. It's enabled. That's a voice. Let me get a custom. Let me test it.
Kevin donated $42 through Super Chat. This is a test Super Chat message.
Y'all heard that? Let me know if y'all heard that. Put a 1 in the chat if y'all heard that. Put a 1 in the chat if you heard that. Put a 1 in the chat if you heard that. Put a 1, put a 1, put a 1, put a 1, put a 1 in the chat if you heard that.
Kevin donated $89 through Super Chat. This is a test Super Chat message.
All right, thank you, Lycos. I appreciate you. All right, let me get rid of this. All right. Boom. All right. So now we're going to get, yes, I want to thank everybody that did that. I appreciate you dudes for letting me know that y'all heard that. Okay. Now, what site is this? This is Gadgets Now, the Times of India. Now, how many of y'all know any of y'all influencers, content creators to go to India to get the news? Why is it necessary for you to go around the world? I can tell you why it's necessary. It's necessary to go around the world to get the news because a lot of the news that we get in America or in the UK is kind of skewed to being paid off. If you've noticed the big scandal with Jay-Z paying off allegedly and Rock Nation paying off a lot of content creators to give a different narrative for their business, it's not far-fetched to know that other companies that are in different positions do the same thing. That's the reason why negative news trends when it comes to Xbox and positive news kind of flops when it comes to Xbox. But Sony may push the PlayStation 6 launch to 2028 or even 2029 as the memory chip crisis bites. Now, let me tell you something. Do y'all remember early on that I told you guys that the PlayStation was not supposed to launch until late 2028, early 2029? And that was because I had white papers, and that was way back then. That was like I think a year or two into the life cycle of the PlayStation 5. So I don't believe any of this chip crisis crap that is the reason why that they're pushing that back. Honestly, their initial plans was always that. So with that, I'm going to keep that in mind. With that, we're going to keep that in mind. We're going to rock with that because that's honestly the truth, how I see it, right? But we're not going to act like there isn't a shortage and it isn't a crisis. Now, Microsoft found a way to get GDDR7 memory in tuck, and they're going to get it at a reduced cost. Also, the current administration, Microsoft is working with them to alleviate the tariffs in order to make a lower profile for U.S. company. I think that kind of works in Microsoft's favor. But remember, I still don't believe that they're going to make a traditional console. All right? I'm staying consistent with what I'm telling you. Okay? Now, and I'm talking about Microsoft. Now, we're going right back to Sony. Sony's reportedly thinking about delaying the PlayStation 6 to 2028 to 2029 as a brutal global memory chip shortage throws a wrench into the gaming giant's next-gen plans. According to Bloomberg, the report citing people familiar with the company's thinking, Sony is reconsidering its timeline for the PlayStation console. The delay would make the PlayStation 5 generation potentially the longest in PlayStation history, stretching well beyond the typical 7-year cycle. The culprit? AI data centers that are swallowing up the memory chip production at a staggering pace. Companies like Alphabet and Amazon are pouring hundreds and billions into the infrastructure this year alone, snapping up chips that will otherwise go into phones, laptops, and yes, game console. Bloomberg describes the situation as Ramageddon, with DRAM prices surging to 75% between December and January. Nintendo isn't safe either. Switch 2 prices hike is on the table. Now, I'm not going to get into the price hike that I heard about the Switch 2 yet because it is on the table, right? There, everyone is looking past this March to figure out if prices are going to go down on RAM or not for them to make their power moves, right? Okay, so Valve is feeling the squeeze too. The company has recently delayed its Steam Machine consoles and admitted it needed to revisit pricing because the same storage and memory crunch. Now, remember when I told you that I don't think that the Steam Machines was going to come out in the early part of the year? They have until April to make me a fool. After April, then you're working into the second part of the year, and that's how the financials go. And that means that you've missed your mark. So you have until April, Gabe, to make me a fool. But I think you're not in the business of trying to sell $1,000 machine because you're not going to eat the cost. And if you do eat the cost in any way, you're going to put the cost on the controller. That controller will be $200. It will be like a $70 controller, but you'll make it $200 in order to eat the cost. Because in order to play your console, you would need that controller, right? So that's one way that you could put it around. So you could put the console as $800 and put the controller at $200, making it effectively $1,000. Just a way to get you. It's not going to hurt. Dip down an anime member for 17 months, my dude. Here's the road to 10K for both of us. Blessings on facts. Yo, listen, I'm going to tell you right now, for my members, you get a chance to see some of Dip Down and Anime's and myself collaborations with some anime stuff as members. That stuff is going to go up for y'all guys soon. So, if you're not a Patreon member, as a Patreon member, you can get all that stuff early over at his channel. But if you're a member of my channel, you get a lot of that stuff as well. So again, we collab weekly. We do a ton of work together. Shout out to Dip Down. Dip Down is the homie. He runs through and plays with us on Fight Night Fridays. He's a welcome cast to the Xbox Frontline family. So I appreciate him. Why this shortage won't end anytime soon? I'm going to tell you why the shortage ain't going to end any goddamn time soon, because once somebody can get a price from you, they're going to continue to get that price from you no matter what. They're not going to drop the price down. I don't need to read the rest of that article to tell you exactly what's going on. But I'm going to let you know, if I'm beating you in your head for X amount of dollars for something and you're willing to pay it, I'm going to continue to beat you upside your head for that price. And don't think I'm going to give you a rebate. I'm not going to give you a break on the price, because you've been paying this price. And if you're not going to do it, somebody else is going to do it. So again, console prices are not going down. This is the worst generation for you to come out to be a console owner. This is the worst generation for you to say, man, I love video games. And if you haven't noticed, we've seen that trend. Kids aren't more apt to pick up a video game controller. They're apt to pick up their phone or some other device. This is the worst generation as far as growth go. We lost 24% of new customers in this ecosystem. It's really us gray bids and you millennials that are keeping shit together. We're really, I don't know, it's really dicey here, especially with all these games failing. You see High Guard, right? That was one of the high-profile games that flopped. But then Square just launched some other game, and I was going to do that topic with that. That thing fell flat. There's a ton of games that come out that actually fall flat and lose money, right? Because there's not as much people as it used to be in this space. Or everybody's either playing live service games or inside of some type of subscription service, free to play. These things, waiting for a discount, financial structure is different. When gas is $3-4, you really don't got that bread to be saying, I need to grab this or that. Stuff changes. And with crap coming out like Sons of Sparta for $30, a $15 game, that lets you know where we are. That is a high profile name that you would say, I can buy that because I can trust the God of War name. Obviously you can't, B. Obviously, that ain't it. But let me see. I know y'all came here for something. And I you know what? King gonna give it to you. I'm gonna give it to you. I'm gonna give it to you. Pause. Let me go over here. It's here. Not that one. Gotta be this one, right? Let me see. Nope. Let me see. Is it let me see something. No. Where did you go, sir? I made you. You would think, because I didn't put it inside there. Where did you go? Let me find out where you went. All right, I know what I'll do. I'll just play it from here. Okay. You're an Xbox lover? You're a King lover? Shout out to Moore's Law is Dead for giving me this content that is worthy. We're gonna watch this content. We're gonna listen to this content. This content is for you. Now, G-Rod is the one that put up these graphics that you see. So I'm giving credit to Gerard on Twitter. He put it up. I thought it was dope, and I used that for the background for this conversation that you're about to hear. You're not going to hear this anyplace, all right? So I'm telling you, this is what happens.
Source reached out to me after being spurred on by a conversation he heard me and Dan have on Broken Silicon 348 about when next-gen consoles would launch. In summary, this contact agreed that there's basically no way Sony would bother to upgrade the node of the PS6 because it would just be too cost prohibitive. Sony is therefore stuck on 3 nanometer. They planned their handheld and their home console on 3 nanometer. That's where all the design work has gone. And if they were to delay the console and then decide they need to upgrade it to 2 nanometer, that would cost a ton of money. And I don't think, therefore, they can delay it with the confirmation that Xbox will be launching in 2027, or at least that's the plan as of now, according to AMD. But don't just take it from Lisa Su. Also take it from this source that I've been talking about. Someone that I will now mention is someone that has worked directly on Xbox Magnus. It is one of my best sources who, over the years, has never been wrong about anything they've told me. And they let me know that Xbox Magnus, and that's the whole thing, the GPU chiplet and the CPU chiplet, that these things were finalized basically in the past few months. I won't say which month, I won't say which team, where, but I will say this person's never wrong. They work directly on it, and it's basically design completed. Now, what does that mean? Well, that means that it's not just like the blueprints are done or the idea of it is done or even just the rough schematics of the silicon are done. Everything, the wiring, the bumps, every little thing on this is done. To put it into car terms, it would be like if Ford was working on a new pickup truck and then they were no longer in the stage of drawing the concepts of it, nor modeling the parts, nor even mapping out where the screws would go. No, this would be like if all of it was done. Like they knew where every little wire, every little screw in that pickup truck was going to go, and they were ready to send it off to their suppliers to manufacture test units. Now, to be fair, I was told that there could still be a little bit of cleanup work going on with some of the metal layers on these silicon dies for Xbox Magnus and RDNA 5 graphics cards, but that I honestly think by now even that's probably done. And so we're at this stage where little things could change here and there. Like, to bring back the car analogy, you know, Ford might design a pickup truck, and then late in development, they might say, we're going to go with this screw here instead of that screw. Like, tiny little tweaks can be done after they tape out and test the silicon. But for all intents and purposes, Xbox Magnus's exact silicon is done. It is ready to be sent to manufacture test units, and that puts them well ahead of schedule. In fact, I was told that this should easily allow for a late 2027 launch, and if things go as smoothly as they already have been going, it's plausible Xbox Magnus or RDNA 5 mid-range graphics cards could be ready to launch maybe even in Q3 of next year. Now, I wouldn't write down that I'm saying that's when Xbox Magnus launches, but that tells you a few, I think, very exciting things. First of all, I've heard of all of these rumors swirling around that Xbox Magnus might be canceled. And well, I've always said that I don't know, Microsoft might do anything. I've personally never heard that Magnus was canceled, and now I can tell you with 99% certainty it won't be. You don't go this far into the design process and then cancel a product. You know, again, you might go, well, they've only designed it, doesn't mean they manufactured it. It's like, yes, but you have to understand the rough ideation phase and rough specs phase, that sort of thing isn't most of the cost. Most of the cost is having tons of engineers do all the micro work on where the wiring bumps, all of that interface is exactly going to go. If Microsoft has paid AMD and their partners they're working with to do all of this work, then it's done. They're definitely going to make Xbox Magnus. That's point one. Point two, from what I'm told, like I already mentioned, both of the dies are done. That means not just the unique CPU die for Xbox, but also the GPU chiplet, which I explained in this video you're seeing on screen here. Please watch it if you haven't yet. That GPU chiplet is literally, not similar, literally the same chip that will be used to make the successor to the 9070 XT next year. And so if that's also done now, I think it's also quite plausible we get an RDNA 5 desktop and maybe even, you know, Zen 6 Halo launches rolling out through next year, like I've already leaked should be able to happen. Now I'm confident it can happen should AMD want to be this aggressive with their timing.
Now, like I've said, First of all, I want to give Adidas 20 member for 25 months, Soldier S Ring. I salute you, Soldier. Salute the king and tuning in from Vegas. Adidas 20 the $2 super chat. Salute, Soldier. 98% right all the time. Listen, on God and them, I'm going to put in that work until your body hurt. I'm going to let you know who I am and what I do and what I'm about. And this is for you guys. Listen, at the end of the day, I told you Xbox and Microsoft did not give up on, Microsoft did not give up on Xbox. I told you they did not give up on hardware. I told you that hardware was coming. I told you that OEM hardware was supposed to release this year. Something happened really weird right there, and they pushed that to next year. But I do believe that we're getting that controller that's going to be in replace of what the hardware was supposed to be. That controller should be launching around the time that they celebrate the 25th anniversary with that new tech involvement. That tech will also link up to your television. That tech will link up to your handhelds. That tech will link up to your devices. That controller is going to be what it's going to be. Now, if I was a jerk, I would act like this information didn't hit the streets. Will Sony Spider-Man games come to the Xbox? Not likely, Insomniac says. All right? Swing and a miss. Could the Xbox version of Insomniac Spider-Man games eventually release, giving parent company Sony recent softening of multi-platform, not just on PC, but with the likes of Helldivers 2, Marathon coming to Xbox console? Based on a comment from Insomniac itself, Xbox owners shouldn't hold their breath. Now I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say this in a way that is going to sure enough anger every last PlayStation fan. On my Xbox ROG Ally X right now, I'm playing Spider-Man, bro. So none of that stuff matters. Whether you want it or not, we gonna have you. Whether you do it the easy way or the hard way, you mine. That's all it's gonna be. It's not up to you anymore. Unless you want to stop making money on the PC front, there you gotta give it up. So none of that stuff matters. This ain't back in the days no more. We gotta listen to what you saying. Magnus is on the run and y'all are under gun. But right now, the Xbox ROG Ally X got you on the run. It's right there. So we don't care. Whether you want to make money or not, we gonna get it. Whether you want to do it officially or not, we gonna take it. So we don't care what you say. It's going on an Xbox console regardless. And you can be as mad as you want to be. We swinging through the streets with Spider-Man. I already showed you. That was the first thing I did. I told you, you're not special, Waterbug. It's up. So conversations like this, will Sony do whatever? It's not what they will do. It's what they better do. If you want to make this fetty, you better get ready and drop them. Because if not, we're taking it anyway. By any means necessary, all your games is ours. So that's it. We send it over there to you. See, what you don't realize is, y'all sit there and say, Xbox is stupid for sending their games over. They're making money, hand over fist. You smart for holding out. We taking it from you. You dumb for not making money. That's the thing. You don't understand what business is. You don't understand. The world has changed already. It's changed, B. Everything has changed. We got electric cars speeding all over the place. Remember that? I'll never buy an electric car. Here his ass go down the block. Standing on these little moral high grounds that absolutely make no sense, based upon small ideology that you brought up in your head, some weird ass dogma that you walking around with. Who cares? I don't. You know what happened when I played Spider-Man on my Xbox ROG Ally X? It didn't take away from your joy of the game, even though I already had the game and already ended the game. None of the stuff that I do in the isolation of my humble abode does anything to you. It doesn't take away anything from you. Actually, what it does is it enhances the portfolio of Sony. What they do is they're able to get what they value most, the data. That guy's playing. This guy's doing this. This guy's doing that. So they can better sell me more stuff. See, what happens when you're not in the race, you can't win. You guys think that everybody revolves around you. Nobody gives a damn about that article. That article is a junk article based upon stupid metrics. What the article should have said was, the next Xbox console gets that regardless. Because it's a stroke of genius. You're not going to take your games off of Epic. You're not going to take your games off of Steam. You're damn sure not going to take your games off of Windows. Because you need that money. You feel that the Xbox ecosystem is too small for you to port your games over. But what happens when that ecosystem goes on crazy? Gerald Mack, J Mac 800, member for 26 months. I salute the king. Gray beards in the building. Fact on God in them. Listen, I know it's hard for you to give up. I know it's hard for you to just say, man, let me stop. Shout out to King Thrash. I haven't seen King Thrash in a minute. He started popping on my timeline because I started busting on top of these dudes' heads. Pause. When I started talking about, it's up for you guys. Rome is over. You did it to yourself. But I got to give a shout out to people that's coming back out of the woodwork. Because a lot of times that y'all wasn't saying nothing. Especially with that Xbox ROG Ally X. That handheld is as powerful, and is more powerful than the PlayStation's handheld that they got in the work. Do you understand that something that is existing right now with an Xbox logo on it is more powerful than whatever they're cooking up over at Sony? But we're talking about a handheld. I had to talk about this because this will make me look like a damn fool, boy. I'm going to tell you, this would make me look like a damn fool. Xbox is still looking to launch a first-party handheld console. Now, this is brought to you by Game Revolution. And they dropped this on Wednesday, and I had this in tuck for a second, but I was looking for more confirmation from other places to debunk this, that I didn't have to talk about this. Now reporting indicates Microsoft is still exploring first-party Xbox handheld, a development that matters for the company's hardware roadmap. Windows Central reported that an Xbox handheld console remains under consideration alongside the next-gen Xbox Windows-based console. Shareholders include Xbox leadership AMD, which is tied to the next gen Viva the multi-year deal. Xbox President Sarah Bond reaffirmed commitment to a first-party hardware last summer after questioning raised by the Asus-made Xbox ROG Ally and Xbox ROG Ally X. The plan aligns with expanding the Xbox ecosystem and maintaining back compatibility. AMD's internal code name for the Xbox SoC is Magnus. We know that. AMD CEO Lisa Su noted that progress towards 2027 launch, though Microsoft has not locked down timing, which depends on the Windows 11 updates. Now, remember before I told you guys, and I'm telling you, this all goes in step with these guys getting you over to Windows 11, because the Windows 12 is going to have fundamentally, it's going to be an Xbox in its core. When you launch, all the stuff that you're seeing now is stuff that's being launched. We're beta testing this stuff. So when Windows 12 does come through, the majority of the people is off of Windows 10 onto Windows 11. They can still utilize all the stuff that they're utilizing, but then Windows 12 will have all that stuff at a higher rate, higher fidelity, more engagement based upon the data that they pulled off of Windows 11 and all the stuff that we did do. I've told you these things. I'm 98% right all the time. Where all these other people is just looking for access, ready to smooth and ready to go have drinks and rub shoulders with individuals, I'm doing the hard goddamn work to figure out where we're going. What's truly happening? What really makes sense? What do they really have us lined up for? What's happening? Now, I hear a lot of outcries that we're losing something in the next couple of days. Some shit that I've never used anyway. Xbox announces social clubs will be removed from consoles in April 2026. The update is part of an ongoing platform updates. I'm going to ask you a question. Everybody here, I have never used Xbox social clubs a day in my life. Not one day. not 1 second, not 1 minute, not 1 hour. Rain 7189 with the $5 super chat. What up, King? You think Magnus will have access to Sony PlayStation Store front if they create it? Yes. Yes. Absolutely yes. That thing is going to be a cornucopia for storefronts. Think about it this way. And I need to talk about that because I that's a very good super chat. That's a damn good super chat. The reason why they would do it is, one, Sony wants to make money from as much places as possible. With Xbox making that console and that console having access to everything, don't you think they want their 70% other than 30%? So they wouldn't tell Xbox, no, we don't want to put that storefront over there. That storefront gives them access to data. That storefront allows them to know your buying and spending habits. That storefront is a conduit to the player, the customer, the person that sees them as a viable commodity for them to invest into. So wherever the customer is, and they're going to have no choice but to put storefronts all over the place, because Steam ain't going to have a storefront with Sony in it. That's stupid. Sony already has a storefront in their console. Outside of that, you put your storefront on your app, and from there, all you can do is purchase a game to play on your PlayStation when you get home. But if you make that storefront available on the Xbox ecosystem, I'm talking about their hardware. With handhelds, you have the PC aspect of it, you have the laptop aspect, then you have the Magnus itself. You have opened yourself up to a level of customer that was alienated from you. Cash-wise, it makes absolute sense. If you don't think Microsoft wants a free 30% just by putting your storefront in there, you're crazy. They don't live by the same dogma that PlayStation lives by, that Sony lives by. And I think Hiroki is turning them to the point where that has to happen. So hell yeah. 100% I see a storefront there. I see a Sony storefront. And it doesn't hurt any goddamn body. Who does it hurt? It hurts who? It hurts the fanboys' feelings. That's all. Because they're still holding on. They're the ones that ask you, how many lumps do you want? They're the ones. We got to knock that forehead up. They got to figure it out. Hurt has to happen. But social clubs. Now, they said you can find them in the Friends and Community Updates app and all. I've never, as long as I had my Xboxes, never did that. So when they was like that, we taking it away, I was like, you can't take away something I ain't never used. I don't know who's used it. And they said it's going away because nobody used it. Right? So does it hurt me? Like when somebody tweets at me, well, Xbox is taking away something else. Take it away. It's not something vital to us. You acting like they taking away voice chat, or they taking away messages, or they taking away quick resume. They're not taking away anything that we use. I don't know anybody. I have never heard nobody say, "Yo, meet me in communities." Not one day. Not one day. So again, that's something stupid. But another topic. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth director promises Nintendo Switch 2 and Xbox Series X devs will not in any way lower the quality of this series final. Why would they? I'm playing Remake right now. I bounce between my Series S and my Series X, and I've been jumping on my PlayStation 5 Pro, and I jumped on a PlayStation 5 with my son. I've seen the Switch 2 version. I would never buy the Switch 2 version just because it's not necessary. I buy my Switch 2 games for my Switch 2. That kind of threw me off when it says Rebirth directed promises that the finale. I never thought that we would be looking at a watered down version for any of those consoles. Series S has shown you they're more than capable. With the PlayStation, with the Switch 2 using the PlayStation 4 Pro's settings for textures, I think they're more in line for the trouble. Like, I think they're the ones that we have to worry about. And I wasn't never going to get it anyway, so it didn't matter to me. It's really a nothing burger. At the end of the day, the Series S is always going to be fine. The Nintendo Switch 2, I really don't know. And it wasn't like I was ever going to buy it for a Switch 2 regardless. But I'm pretty sure that they'd drop down the resolution or do whatever they need to do, frame gen or whatever, in order to get the game up to snuff for that console, that ecosystem. But for us Xbox people, we don't care. Series S has been punching above its weight for a long time. But I want to tell you guys, I appreciate each and every last one of you for showing up today, man. I'm going to tell you, I love everything that I do. And I do it like I do it for TV because I'm doing this so you can see me. Every day I go live 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to bring you the news, the facts, how I see it. I told you, Xbox is never dead. These dudes pray and wish. But when you go and dig a grave, make sure you dig two. One for me and one for you. And you might get hit in the back of the head with that shovel, and it just be a grave for you. This is Xbox Frontline News with your boy, the King. Like, follow, subscribe, hit that notification bell. This is the part in the video where I'm going to ask you to do what I do, what I try to do, what you should always be doing. I want you to go where game is game and win is win. And I want you to try to play the Game Pass. But before you do that, here come Bella. Bella's running. She loves that try to play the Game Pass. But before you do that, I need you to listen to the best intro the world has ever heard.
What's a man or a king? What's to the saying? Advancing the line, advancing the payment. You front the game, but what said as you claim it. It's that Xbox. Spin the block, his legs slide. Fast talker, no riddling. Moonwalker, selling moon ride just to make dividends. You in traffic with family? That much make it a portrait. Gun kick back, knock grannies from porches. David on the scene, you know that it's scorching. What's a man or a king? What's to the saying? Advancing the line, advancing the payment. You front the game, but what said as you claim it.
You already know the time. Told my boys to hold the line. We gon' shoot it out in seconds, leave you posted like a vine. Bow your head down to the king, leave your roses at the shrine. We stay ready for the war, just need the king to drop the sign. Say what you running from, what you running from. I'm with my team, we bleed green, that's what you wanted, huh? Say what you running from, what you running from. I'm with my team, we bleed green, that's what you wanted, huh? This what you wanted. This what you wanted, huh?